Hello and welcome to another episode of Sus Faction.
Today is a blend of Kyle and Acela centric, and I'm Kyle,
And I'm Isella,
and
and
we're
we're
your
your
hosts.
hosts. Yeah, so it's actually really funny. We had already told you we were doing this episode. We had talked about doing this episode so many times, and I was at my part-time job, which is also kind of just a hobby.
Yeah.
And one of my coworkers goes, "Have you heard about Roanoke?" And I was like, "What about Roanoke?" I was like, "Because I just wrote an episode about Roanoke." And he was like, "Well, they think they have figured it out." And I was like, "Wait, what?" So we're going to talk to you about that a little bit. We're going to give you the lore, the history, and all the theories involved in what possibly happened at Roanoke Colony. Right. So I'm going to start with the lore. Got 1590. John White returns to Roanoke Colony after a 3-year absence to find the settlement completely abandoned. Only one clue, the word Croatoan, carved into a tree. At least that's how we've heard it. Yeah. That's how we learned it in school, right?
Well, it was a tree or a piece of wood that was like a sign, or it's been many things, but Croatoan has been
the only clue left behind.
Clue left behind, yeah.
Okay, so some history. Roanoke Colony was England's first attempt to add a permanent settlement in North America, founded on Roanoke Island in 1585 and later reestablished in 1587. So this was actually kind of their second try. The first try and the second try all in one. Its governor was John White. He returned to England for supplies and was delayed for 3 years by war. The Anglo-Spanish War was fueled by religious differences between Protestant England and Catholic Spain. If you'll remember from our Bloody Mary episode. Colonial competition was a big driver, and in 1587, it was an extremely significant year. The year he decided to return to England for supplies happened to be significant in the war because Sir Francis Drake conducted his famous raid on Cadiz, destroying Spanish ships that were intended for an invasion of England. But just for a little added perspective, Queen Elizabeth I was the reigning monarch of England, and her ex-brother-in-law was the ruler of Spain during this war.
Oh my God.
We all know how much the English hated Spain. And we talked about that at length in the Mary episode. But I also like to think that maybe because Mary loved her sister and because Elizabeth loved Mary, that she also had a little grudge against Spain. So when John White finally did return to Roanoke Island in 1590, he found the settlement completely deserted with no signs of a struggle. The only clues left were the word Croatoan carved into a post and the letters CRO carved into a tree. The houses were dismantled and the fort had been razed with the exception of one skeleton, which I didn't learn any of that in school. And I was like, that's kind of cool. Yeah. I didn't know they took it apart.
Right.
So, well, the first theory I'm going to present, just because it kind of lines up with everything we were just talking about, is the alien theory. It is called the alien theory because they believe, those who subscribe to this theory, believe that aliens came and they abducted all of the colonists. All of them.
Every single one.
Every single one of them, 117 of them. The problem is that it lacks evidence.
Yeah.
There were 117 colonists. So for all of them to be taken at once, except for the one skeleton, is kind of a far reach. And it doesn't appear that there was any struggle, so they would have walked willingly onto this aircraft in 1580, whenever they were pulled.
Yeah.
I think that's very unlikely.
Right.
So
They
I'm
would have
gonna
been
call
running
this
for the hills.
yeah, I'm gonna call this theory debunked. It's still fun to think about. And there's merchandise that plays off of that you can buy in Roanoke.
I bet.
It's a fun one. But not the one that I subscribe to personally.
Right. No, I think, I mean, I agree. I think that if there was a an alien abduction at Roanoke, it would be very run for the hills.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, it's 1580 something. Either it's between 1587 and 1590 because he
yeah,
left in 87 and came back in 90 and they were gone. So it would have been late 1580s, and it's like, I mean, they didn't have airplanes. So this would have been extremely terrifying.
yeah,
There would have been signs of a struggle, I believe.
I believe so too.
Okay. Second theory. The word Croatoan could be indicative of a potential move to the island of Croatoan, which was home to a local Native American tribe in present-day Hatteras Island. This theory suggests integration with the tribe could have occurred. There is archaeological evidence that matches some of the items that were found just inland in Roanoke Island as well, pottery and copper rings. And they were found on both that island and inland of Roanoke.
Oh,
Yeah. The absence of violent signs, such as a massacre at the settlement, supports the integration theory, and there were rumors later of blue-eyed natives, as well as a Native American tribe that knew how to smith weapons.
oh wow.
So that is probably the most evidence-based theory that we have. Okay. The third theory, which is considered the second most plausible theory, and the one I subscribe to, is the starvation theory. So this is my opinion because it's extremely plausible, and the reason that John White left was because the colony faced a shortage of supplies, and it was very vulnerable to the harsh conditions of the time. So when he left to get more supplies for the settlement, they continued to just dwindle on what they had, which was already low. They couldn't plant anything at the time because it was already almost winter.
Right.
So food was scarce. They did find one skeleton. So it's important to note that there was a skeleton found, but only one. So I believe cannibalism could have been the cause. It's very possible that the skeleton may have been the final remaining survivor after cannibalism wiped out the rest of the settlement, and that they died anyway because there was nothing left. It's also not beyond them, not beyond the English at the time in history, because there is evidence of, quote, survival cannibalism being practiced at Jamestown in 1609. It's actually documented that in the winter of 1609 to 1610, they called the starving time. And it was documented at that time that they practiced survival cannibalism, as if calling it that makes it any better.
Right.
But they have
I
it
mean,
documented. So
if there's nothing to eat and you got wounded and you got and like you're stuck in the mountains, like
Yeah.
I guess you got to do what you got to do.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's scary and it's kind of it is gross,
Yeah.
but it's like those kids that were on that flight over the Chilean mountains
Mm-hmm.
that I believe that they had to resort to cannibalism.
Yeah. And there's an entire, I think it was a, I think the show is based off of a book, but
Yellow
Yellow
Jackets.
Jackets. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've been watching that, and I'm waiting for to get Paramount Plus so I can watch the third season.
They
Because
always do that.
I know, I'm ready because it's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. So cannibalism. I think so. Which I guess kind of plays into our fourth theory. And Kyle's going to talk to you about that.
which would be okay. How do I run into this? Would be Wendigos. Now, the reason these kind of blend together is because the Wendigo or Wendigo is a humanoid cryptid that it it comes from cannibalism. So like um the legend, I'll get there, but first let me tell you like the locations. Upper Midwest US, Lake Wendigo, Wisconsin, Minnesota area. The earliest sightings are prehistory, and the legend of the Wendigo originated with the Algonquin in which is now Canada and the northern US. The Wendigo or Wendigo and other spellings has metamorphosized over the centuries, splitting into three versions of the creature. The I would struggle to say this. The Way People's Dictionary called the Wendigo a winter cannibal monster, which are three of the most terrifying words in the English dictionary. Um, to go Wendigo, quote unquote, is to be possessed by its spirit and to eat or be tempted to eat human flesh. Then their spines and heart will be encased in ice so thick you can hear it popping and cracking if you put your ear to its chest, which I thought was a little cryptic.
That is terrifying. And I mean, yeah, you said humanoid creature because it starts out as a human,
Yeah, they're humans that become Wendigo due to cannibalism and
especially during the winter.
yeah.
Oof.
Now, speaking of winter, now I'm citing from a book called The United States of Cryptids, A Tour of American Myths and Monsters by J.W. Ocker. And it says in 1897, the St. Paul Globe of Minnesota reported that a Native American woman living in the Burnins River Reserve of Manitoba had contracted typhoid fever, the effects of which caused her to act strangely. Her husband thought she was going Wendigo, quote unquote, so he grabbed her by the hair and broke her neck. He was arrested for murder, but there are also cases of people going Wendigo that are not mistaken diagnosis. The most infamous case is the case of Swift Runner. Now, Swift Runner, it was just after the winter of 1878 to 1879 in Alberta.
So that's Canada, right?
Alberta, Canada. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, a Cree man named Swift Runner was known and liked in town. Return. Sorry, who was known and liked in town returned from his winter camp without his family, behaving strangely. He said they had died of starvation, even though he looked pretty hale for a man who had just survived a winter that killed the other 9 members of his family. The Northwest Mountain Police decided to check in on him. What they found was a camp strewn with human bones, some of them gnawed. Swift Runner confessed to what the academic world calls anthropophagy.
Hmm.
Anthropophagy.
Okay.
That's a word I'm not familiar with. Sorry, I should have read this first. Um, and the result of us call and the rest of us call it cannibalism. So there it is.
Okay. But I
So
mean,
anthropophagy is cannibalism.
technically he's not wrong. They did die of starvation. His starvation.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He said he'd been having strange dreams and that a spirit told him to eat his family, which included his wife, brother, mother, and 6 children. Eats people, especially children. He'd gone Wendigo. It was harsh. It was a harsh winter, but it wasn't an eat your family harsh winter. Swift Runner even admitted that he killed and ate one of his sons, the last of his family to die, so that there would be no witnesses to his crimes. Swift Runner was hanged for the ghastly murders in December of 1879 at Fort Saskatchewan.
Okay.
The true motivation for his atrocities will never be fully parsed, but for a few decades in the 20th century, some psychiatrists diagnosed and treated Wendigo psychosis as a culture bound syndrome. So, um, now Wendigos, obviously, you're catching a theme here of it like being a Native American lore or a Native American um,
Right, but who's to say
origin.
that they didn't? I mean, because these stories you're telling are later,
Yeah,
who's to say that the Native American tribes from Croatoa or Croatoan Island didn't come and witness what happened? And that's where the stories even came from. I mean,
right.
for a spirit to possess somebody, it has to be an older spirit,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
So for that, I mean, that's almost 300 years later.
Yeah.
And the spirit could have originated during this harsh winter when the Roanoke Colony was struggling, even.
Well, the like a lot of like pagan deities are old deities, like old world
Yeah.
deities. And
Oh,
so
so they could have brought it with them.
yeah. And so I feel like the Wendigo to me as a Wendigo is super fascinating because of its ancientness.
Okay.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because of how old it is
Right.
and how often it's been documented throughout the course of history.
Yeah, and it sounds like the conditions were right.
Yeah.
Um.
Always winter, like always
Mhm.
like a starving time.
Yeah. Yeah. And with cannibalism being such a plausible theory, it's very possible that, the stories of the Wendigo here could have come from an early settlement where they would have brought it from across the pond because the civilizations on that side were older.
Right.
That's terrifying.
Right.
That is terrifying to think of. Um, I don't know.
I can tell you more about not Roanoke, but about the cryptid, the Wendigo.
Okay,
Um,
I'm interested.
okay. Well, let's go. Um, let's see here. In modern times, pop culture has gentled the Wendigo into a winter spirit, often depicted as either a humanoid deer with antlers or a ghastly, ghostly creature with the deer or elk skull for a head, terrifying in its own way if witnessed on a snowy night in the woods. Meanwhile, states adjacent to Canada that also know the mental and physical burden of difficult winters annex the Wendigo to their own lore, most notably Minnesota and its neighbor Wisconsin, the latter of which has made inroads into making the claim official.
Mm.
Stoughton, Wisconsin, is the home of a restaurant called Wendigo, which features a cannibal burger on its menu that is
Lovely.
stuffed with tenderloin and bacon. That sounds delicious.
It does. It does sound good.
And every October, the town of Manitowoc has a Wendigo Fest, which is a Halloween celebration with haunted attractions and a spooky parade, live music, and sideshows.
Mm.
So there's some like more modern stuff that they have go on based off of these Wendigo stories that they have.
Yeah.
Um, in the late 20th century, a researcher named Carol Crawford Ryan gathered stories from locals about Lake Wendigo, some of which seem to go back hundreds of years. She heard that the Wendigo is supposed to live in icy waters of that inner lake, bare footprints and exit holes from a large thing or things are found on the ice when it freezes over. She heard that the lake was used as a big kettle by a group of cannibal giants for boiling humans, and that a Native American a Native American chief
Oh,
had ventured to the island and never returned. That makes Wendigo Lake a good place for a statue, I think, or a historical marker, at least a warning sign. Either way, only time will tell which state, Minnesota or Wisconsin, will be the better claimant for one of the scariest creatures in this book.
yeah. Well, I mean, huh, that's a terrifying creature for sure.
Yeah.
I think what makes it scarier is that it starts out as
Yeah.
a human monster.
Yeah, that it's a transformation. There's a
Yeah.
movie called Wendigo.
Oh,
Um
when did it come out? Do you know?
it's a few years ago. I
Okay.
want to say 2019, maybe 2020.
Okay.
But cuz it's not super old, but do you remember the show Felicity?
Vaguely.
It's the girl from Felicity, isn't
Okay.
it? And
Okay.
she plays like a teacher, and this little boy, um, long story short, this little boy lives home alone basically because his dad and his little brother have become possessed by um, the Wendigo spirit,
Okay.
and he's locked them in the house.
Oh.
So the little boy feeds them, and it's crazy.
Oh.
It's scary. It's got a lot of lore in it. Um, it's a pretty good movie, I think. There's a lot that could have been added, I feel, to make it more, I don't know, give you more backstory
Of the
to
Wendigo
of the
itself.
Wendigo itself. Yes, but other than that, it's a pretty good movie. And then let me see. Um, oh, I'm blanking. There's another thing on Wendigos, but I'm blanking on it, so I'll have to try to remember and put it in the show notes or something. But
Did the
um,
show Lore make an episode on Wendigos?
the show Lord, maybe they did, maybe because I've watched that show, and I think they might have. Well,
Okay.
I have to look.
I remember reading a title, I think, for it, but I was looking for something specific at the time. I haven't actually sat and watched that whole show, like the whole series.
Yeah,
But I
believe
pick
the
and
Blood
choose
Countess is
episodes.
in it.
Yes, I pick and choose episodes that are relevant to what I'm researching at the time.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a ton of time for TV, but I did recently start watching some Christmas movies.
Oh my god.
And I'm not the same as most people who watch Christmas movies. My first Christmas movie was Black Christmas.
Oh my gosh, yes. Black Christmas, Krampus.
Krampus was my second one. And then I watched Gremlins with the kids.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
And it's funny how, like, watching that now, like, I thought it would be too scary for my nieces and nephews. It's not scary at all.
It's not. Krampus isn't that scary until, like, the end.
I thought Krampus kind of had, like, a cute symbolism to it. Like, it was kind of a sweet story.
It didn't have a happy ending, though.
No, but it did, though, because they're all together.
They're all together, but I don't think it's
not like, I just thought it was kind of a cute story, and I loved the grandma.
I like the lesson. I like the lesson of it.
Yeah.
It has a really good lesson in it. Speaking of Krampus, our episode next week will be Krampus because Krampus night is December 5th. So we will be doing our next episode on Krampus. But I don't know, what other terrifying Christmas movies are you going to be watching this season?
I'm not one to ask because I watch Halloween movies all year round.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna watch Violent Night.
Loved it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Loved it.
It was good.
So good.
Okay. That one's on my list, and then
I want to see Red.
Red. I think I saw it last year.
I want to see that.
I think I saw Red.
Oh, and okay, I'll lie. I lied. I like the Christmas Chronicles.
Oh, I like Christmas yes,
They're
but I meant like
cute.
terrifying Christmas movies.
When I'm talking like Christmas movies, I'll watch real Christmas movies, like The
Okay.
Polar Express. But the Christmas Chronicles, I thought Christmas Chronicles was so cute when he does the ho 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 like
Oh yeah.
for the little girl. And then the second one was cool because like I just love Goldie Hawn and I love that you get to see more of her.
Oh yeah. I I made a face when he said Polar Express. I've never sat through the entire movie. I always fall asleep.
Because it's so comforting.
I thought it was just slow.
Oh, see, I think it's because it's comforting. Oh, and see, growing up, my mom had the book before the movie ever came out.
I've read the book. I like the book.
She has the book with a stand.
Oh.
Like, because it was that important to her.
Okay.
And so.
Does she have a little bell next to it?
No,
okay.
I need to get her one, though.
Yeah.
I should do that. Because.
I want a Krampus bell. Anyone who's taking Christmas orders.
I have a brass bell you can have that that's creepy, kind of like they're all old and vintage. You can have one as a Krampus bell.
Okay.
But anyways, off topic, but is that all we have for Roanoke?
It's all we have for Roanoke. Yeah, going into kind of talking about the Christmas season and Christmas episodes. Yeah, Krampus is our next episode. I'm not sure what other cryptids I want to cover. I may do another Christmassy cryptid, but I'm on the fence. I'm not sure which one I want to do. There's 2 that I want to do.
Yeah.
But I want to cover Krampus. So I haven't decided which one of the others to do yet.
All the ones like this, the United States of Krampus, or the United States of Krampus, the United States of Cryptids by J.W. Ocker is a really good book if you like cryptids. It has everything in it. So this is where I'm probably going to get most of my information for my cryptids for Christmas.
Yeah. The thing is there's only 4 weeks in December.
I know. Why can't there be more?
So we're only going to be able to cover 4 cryptids for Christmas. So I wanted to cover some Christmassy ones, and then we'll bring you more cryptids later. Probably some that live in the woods around camping season. You know, just to make your camping time extra creepy.
Right. Okay, well, again, thank you for listening. Be sure to come back for another episode.
We post every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, trust no one. Question everything.
And if you want to reach us and send us your stories for us to read on the podcast, you can reach us at susfactionpod@outlook.com. Again, if you want to send us your stories, we'd be happy to hear them and read them. You can reach us at susfactionpod@outlook.com. And we also have an Instagram.
Yes, our Instagram you can find at susfactionpod. The teaser or trailer, if you will, is posted every Monday. Time is inconsistent.
Lately.
Yes, I don't know. I have found that I have more availability in the morning, so I'm like composing it in the morning and then setting it to draft until I can proof it, and then I usually will submit it.
Right.
So, but yeah, we will always have kind of a preview for you on that Instagram, and you can access all of our episodes on the links section of the bio for the podcast. So you can get to our YouTube, our Spotify, or Amazon from there.
Wherever you need to listen. But all right, well, thank you so much for listening.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right, so just as a real quick note here, I wanted to jump on real fast because I said the movie Wendigo came out in 2019 or 2020. It's actually not called Wendigo. It is called Antlers with Carrie Russell. So if you want to watch that movie, it's a good movie. It's called Antlers with Carrie Russell, and it came out in 2022. Thank
And
you.
did you want to talk about the episode, the lore episode that we were talking about for the series lore? The episode about the Wendigo is called Hunger Pains.
So there's that information, just so you know, and we clarify. Thank you again, and we'll see you soon.